So if you chose JSP, second LAQ for you will be architecture of JSP with diagram. So I'll just give an overview, quick overview. So you already know about JSP. What is JSP? It stands for Java Server Pages. It is a technology that provides a framework for creating dynamic web content, not static. So yeah. So what are the core components in this? Client, web server, JSP container, and servlet. Client, the user, us. We will be interacting with web server and we will initiate a request. All right. If we want to access any JSP page. Next one, web server. It handles the request and it forwards the request for JSP pages to JSP containers. Next comes JSP container. So most of the thing happens over here. It is a component within the web server only, but it is responsible for processing all the web server. It translates, it manages the life cycle and does all the things. So next comes servlet. Since I said you already, JSP container does what? It processes the JSP pages. Then what does it do? Translates JSP pages into servlets. So it is getting translated into servlets, right? So there comes servlet into picture. Servlet, what is a servlet? A Java class generated from JSP page by JSP container. All right. So it handles the requests and it generates the dynamic HTML response. Okay. Whenever it receives a request, it handles it and generates the response. That will be dynamic. Next one. We also have JVM and HTML output. So JVM, you are already aware of this. It executes the compiled servlet bytecode, then HTML output. Very simple. The final output that will be generated by servlet. It will be sent to the client's browser. So I'll explain through this image. So see, refer to this image, what is actually happening here. So first, we as a user, as a client, we will be doing a request. So the client sends an HTTP request for JSP page to web server. So see, can you see over here? Client request going to web server through internet. Then comes web server into the picture. So we are trying to access something. So something need to serve us. So web server will be there. So web server receives our request. All right. We are sending the request. It is receiving the request. All right. So it identifies the request as being for JSP page. So if we are doing some JSP stuff here, so it will identify which kind of request is this. So it will identify and it will pass it to what? JSP container. So all the process next majority of process happens within the JSP container. What all happens within that? Translation. It translates it into JSP. It translates the JSP page into JSP, I mean Java servlet. All right. Then it compiles it and generates Java bytecode. Then it will be executed. That servlet will be executed in short. So while execution, the servlet will be interacting with our background resources like database. All right. Then we will respond. The process of taking the request and handling of the request is done. Now we will it will be responding to us. So it will respond us by generating the HTML output page. Done. So after responding, we as client will receive that particular HTML file. So you can see client is requesting through internet for web to web browser. for some JSP stuff, right? It will be forwarded to JSP container. It will be translated, compiled, then executed. And while execution, it will be interacted with database. Then it will respond. And how will it respond? By giving out HTML output. Then HTML will be sent to the client. That is done. This is it. As simple as that. So you can even draw this. Client will request through JSP engine. What does it do? It will read, then translate, then compile, then execute. Then it will respond. That is it. So make sure to learn this for LAQ.